Hello. Welcome to the first podcast. And the subject today is a question from my first video. Rich Bateman 9029 submitted a question that said, "I've heard that some people do some kind of conversion as they approach retirement to move money out of their regular 401k into a Roth IRA to save money. Could you expound on this if you're familiar?" Rich, I am familiar, and I'm happy to expound for you. So, what you're referring to is a Roth conversion, which is just the idea of moving money from a pre-tax retirement account into an after-tax retirement account. The only reason for doing this is the idea of locking in a lower tax rate today on some income so that you can avoid paying a higher tax rate in the future. That's the only case for doing it. In terms of when it's helpful, there's two main criteria. One is if you expect to have an even higher income in retirement than you did while you were working. Now, for most people, that's just not the case. That's one condition. The second is if you have what I would call a very large IRA. I'm going to give you a specific definition of what I mean by that. It's where 5% of the value of your IRA is more than you need to be pulling each year from your portfolio to fund your retirement. For most people, that translates to something like $1.5 million in terms of IRA balance or greater. So most people will never get there. That's why for a lot of people, Roth conversions won't make sense. But if you start getting in the $2+ million range for an IRA, conversions should probably enter the conversation. Timing wise, what I've found with most folks is conversions make the most sense between age 65 and age 67. And I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people retire at age 65 because that's when Medicare kicks in. And then age 67 is when Social Security begins. So there's this 2-year gap between those two where you're retired, but you may not be taking Social Security yet. What that does is it creates this trough of income. So say at age 64, you're probably at your peak earning years. 65, your income drops way down, and then you got this 2-year window where income's really low before it ramps back up again as Social Security starts. So it's when your income is low that Roth conversions can benefit you the most. That's my answer there. Rich, if you're still saving, and it sounds like maybe you are saving into a 401k, if you want to have some money go into a Roth account to grow tax-free forever, here's what I can offer. You can make Roth IRA contributions in addition to your 401k contributions. Just make sure you keep a lookout for the Roth IRA contribution income limit. In 2025, if you're single, you can't contribute to a Roth if you're making over 150 grand a year. Or if you're married filing jointly, your income has to be below 236 grand a year. So odds are you could do that. Just make sure to keep a lookout for that income limit. And then here's the second way you can make those types of contributions. If you're contributing to a 401k, contact your 401k plan administrator and ask them if you're eligible to make after-tax contributions to your 401k. That's a very specific term. And what I'm referring to there is contributions that you can make above and beyond the standard limits. So even if you're maxing out your 401k, you can, in theory, depending on your plan and your work, you can make after-tax contributions on top of that. And that's money that's already been taxed and can help sort of move you in that direction of having some tax-free savings. Rich, I hope this was helpful. And thanks for submitting the question and all the best. Take care.